Hi everyone, Rebecca here. I've just dropped in today to explain for you the difference between an educational theory, an educational perspective and a teaching approach. Now, this seems to have been something that has created a level of anxiety in my students previously, so I'm hoping to make a preemptive approach and make it all nice and simple and clear for you this teaching period. So if you'll just bear with me, I will create for you an absolute mess on this page that should demonstrate just how bad my artistic capabilities truly are. Now, let's begin at the beginning with our theorists. You know who they are. They are Bronfenbrenner, they are Piaget, they are Skinner, Locke, Vygotsky, Glasser, anybody else you can think of. They all fall into this category of theorists. Now, these guys have been influencing education and educational practices for some time now. And as a consequence of their influence, they have also been affecting you. So, if we go over here, let's make you. Feet and little hands wave high. So, here you are, influenced by these theorists as a student, but also as a teacher. And teacher. And this is the part that we're worrying about at the moment, because you can only access those theorists you know about. So they're only the ones you know about can be influencing you and the way you see education at the moment. All the others exist, but they're not influencing you. So, as well as these theorists, we also have things like your culture, your family, your social environment. What else do we have? Your previous experiences with education. And all of these things, in combination with the theorists, are joining together to create what we call your perspective on education. And the reason this is important, or the reason this word is important, this perspective, is because what we're doing by combining the effects of the theorists and all the other external influences is affecting the way that you see education. And when I say see education, we're going to use it from a particularly artistic point of view. Most of you will have heard the word perspective in relation to art before, and that's the kind of perspective we're talking about now. From your standpoint, what does education look like? And that is your perspective. So you can change where you stand if you're particularly broad-minded, or you learn about some new theorist, or something happens that you are able to suddenly see a new point of view. So one event can be seen from multiple different perspectives. And I think that's the best and the simplest way to remember it, that the theories plus the external influences, so externals equal perspective. Yes, I'm a math science teacher sometimes, so I like little formulas. Now, when we talk about our teaching approach, we use our perspective, this one over here that's already been created by all these other big influencing factors, and we combine our perspective with other things that also are going to influence what we're capable of. So it might be the school ethos, it might be student needs, it might be our own confidence levels, and it might be our learning objectives for that term even. Whatever the case is, all of these things will combine with your perspective to equal your teaching approach, which can be broken down into a number of different teaching strategies. So that's the simplest way that I can think of to explain it. And I could have written you 1,000 words about it, or I could have done this one little picture with some diagrams. So I'm hoping that while it's quite ugly, it's done the job and you now understand the difference between a theory, a perspective, and an approach. Now, if I wanted to confuse you, and I don't, but I'm going to just put this in the back of your mind, I would explain that because theorists are also influenced by a number of external factors, and they have their own educational experiences that they brought to play in order to generate their theories, their own cultural biases, etc., then they also come to their research from a certain perspective. So sometimes when people use the term perspective, they're talking about the perspective from which a theorist is coming at a problem. Other times they're talking about a personal perspective. If you read the Early Years Learning Framework, you'll see that whoever wrote that used the terms theory and perspective interchangeably. I wish you wouldn't do that. They are two separate words for a very good reason. And when it comes to approaching your assessment 2, if you could use theory from the point of view of the theorists, perspective, talking about your own teaching perspective, and your teaching approach and teaching strategies being the nitty-gritty of what you're going to do on a daily basis. I hope that helps. If it doesn't, be sure to let me know, email me or post some questions on the discussion board, and I'll do my best to be clearer. Thanks very much. Bye for now.